Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vitvaram. We'll read the first 4 verses together. Vedanta Vidyam Sri Ramam Natva Sri Chinmayam Gurum Vakshe Vedanta Madhuryam Lokanandakaram Bhavet Shushkam Vedanta Jnanam Hi Kechit Vadanti Prayashah Anye Tat Katinam Sukshmam Manyante Swavicharatah Nishvalam Jivinesminscha Jivanesminscha Jnanam Va Paralaukikam Sanyasinam Krute Chasti Vardhakye Va Patennara Evam bahuvida santi vedanta vishaye mataha nischayotascha kartavyah pramanena vivekatah. Vedanta vishaye bahuvidaha mataha santi. In the subject matter of Vedanta, about which many different opinions are found. Some people say it is dry, some people say it is hard, and some of them say it is meant for only those who have retired from life, taken to sannyas, and only in old age we need to understand Vedanta or study Vedanta. It is so unfortunate that this kind of opinion is there among people. In the last session, we saw that just like for knowing any object, seeing is possible only through one single means of knowledge called eyes. Chakshuhu eva rupasya grahanartham pramanam. Indriyas, sense organs, are meant for us to know the world by seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, touching. If the means of knowledge is absent, to that extent we do not know about that object. If I do not have eyes, but I have all other senses, I can smell it, I can hear it, I can taste it, I can touch it, but I do not know what color it is, what shape it is, how tall it is, how broad it is, how deep it is, how it is different from another one. I can only guess. The famous story of the 5 blind people or 6 blind people describing an elephant. You know that story. One says that one touches the tail and says it is a rope. One touches the trunk and says it is like a big tube. One touches the skin or the body of the elephant and says it is like a wall. A total understanding of anything takes place with the total cooperation of all the senses. Therefore, Pratyaksha Pramana is considered by the science as the most important means to know anything. The word Pramana comes from the word Prama. What is Prama? Abhadita Jnanam Prama. Please understand this definition. Abhadita Jnanam Prama. जिसका बाधन नहीं हो सकता है, meaning unfalsified knowledge, unrefutable knowledge. So if I see something and you are also seeing something, the same thing, and everybody is saying something, then there is no argument about whether it is there or not. At least in the context of seeing a thing. If I heard something and you also heard the same thing and everybody heard the same thing, then that shabdam, that sound that I have heard, did you hear that lightning, thunder? Yeah, everybody heard. That is Pratyaksha Pramana. So, Abhadita Jnanam Prama, Abhadita Jnana Utpatti Karanam Pramanam. Pramana means a means to know a thing which does not have been refuted or it is not false. So, when we recognize this as the first and foremost means of knowing anything, Pratyaksha Pramana, in Vedanta we say that there is two more Pramanas which are there. Many of you know, but anyway, let me recall here for better understanding. Anumana is the second one. Anumiyate. This Anumana is inferential knowledge. That is knowledge gained by inferring what could have been the cause. But this inferential knowledge is based upon direct knowledge, Pratyaksha Pramana. So if I have not seen at all a snake, I would not project a snake appearance on the rope. If I have never seen the snake, is there possibility of my projecting snake on the rope? Not possible. And if there is a smoke in the top of the mountain, what is the immediate understanding I may have? By looking at the smoke, I know that there is fire. Fire I have seen along with the smoke. And the smoke that is seen by me have a direct reason or direct cause called fire, even though I have not seen it now. But I have seen it earlier. So earlier Pratyaksha Jnanam is the cause for my present Anumanam. So Anumana Pramana, inferential knowledge, is based on Pratyaksha Pramana, direct knowledge. The next one which they come to argue is Upamana. Upamanam is also another means of knowledge. Upamana means upamiyate. Upa means samipe. So a thing needs to be compared with another. That's called upama. Now, if you say Rama is like a lion, so Rama is compared to lion. In what? It's not that he is having a face like a lion or a hair like a lion, or he is not walking in the foreleg. What do we mean by that? Lion's strength is compared to Rama's strength. Meaning, I know the lion's strength previously, and therefore I'm able to compare that with Rama. Therefore, I need to have a pratyaksha jnanam of the strength of lion to compare that with Rama's strength. So therefore, even Upamana Pramana, this is knowledge by example, comparative knowledge. That also can be possible only when I have the basis of pratyaksha jnana. Direct knowledge. Now, these three are considered by Vedanta as very important. But then other schools of thoughts like logicians will bring in two more. Arthapatti jnanam and anupalabdhi jnanam. Artha apatti, meaning it is not inferential but logical reasoning. What is logical reasoning? Example is, somebody says, this person never eats during the daytime. Meaning he's relatively fat, but somebody says he doesn't eat during the daytime. Now, when such a person makes a statement, there is a good artha. Meaning what? He said he's not eating in the daytime. The good artha is what? He eats in the night. But he doesn't say that. So if a person does not eat and still looking fat, what is the good artha? That is, such a person is, he must be eating in the night. So, but it's not spoken, but it is logically reasoned out. This is called Artha Apatti Jnanam. Knowledge born out of logical reasoning, meaning what is unsaid is understood. This is called Arthapatti Jnana. The last one is Anupalabdhi. Upalabdhi means available, Anupalabdhi, not available, not present. So when you are going for a meeting and you're called for, let us say, 10 people, and only 8 of them showed up, and 2 of them are not there, about which you have knowledge. The 2 of them are absent. The absence of 2 people is also a knowledge. The state of dream, sleep is Anupalabdhi Jnanam. See, when you are in the state of Sushupti, sleep, you have no reasoning there. You are not having any direct knowledge. But upon waking up, when you say, I had slept very well, but I was not there to know that everything was absent. So you are, upon waking up, you come to conclude the absence. The absence of the world was not known to you at that time, but you come to know on waking up, and you say that was Anupalabdhi. It was not there. So that also is knowledge. Knowledge about absence. Understood? Now, these are all the 5 important pramanas: pratyaksha, anumana, upamana, arthapatti, anupalabdhi. But Vedanta says none of these 5 can comprehend the self. Knowledge of the self is not pratyaksha jnanam. Jnanendriya janita jnanam na bhavati. Antakarana vritti rupena api jnanam atma jnanam na sambhavati. Through the sense organs or through even internal organs such as mana, buddhi, ahankara, and chittam. It is not directly perceptible. Agocharam. Indriya agocharam. Vacha agocharam. Manasa agocharam. Agocharam means not reachable. Now, if pratyaksha itself is denied, the anumana and upamana, which are depending upon this pratyaksha direct knowledge, is also not possible. Because, as we have established, that anumana and upamana, that is inferential knowledge and comparative knowledge or knowledge through example, both are depending upon pratyaksha jnana. If the pratyaksha jnana itself is not possible, the other two are not possible. Now, therefore, Vedanta proposes this point that knowledge is possible through Shabdam. So, Vedanta is Shabda Jnanam. And for Shabda Jnanam, what is the Pramana? What is the Pramana? Meaning means of knowing. Ajnada Vastu Vishaye, in the context of knowledge about that which is unknown, Aptavakyam Pramanam, to start with. Aptavakyam Pramanam. Aptavakya means those who have experienced it, when they say it, it's a Pramana. So Apta Purushaha, meaning those who have realized the truth, they have declared it as this is what it is. See, let us look at the Christian tradition or Islamic tradition. They are based upon Apta Purusha Vakya. You know, Christ has said it, Moses has said it. What is it? If somebody had made that statement as this is what is the command of the Lord. Islam would say it is according to Muhammad Nabi. Allah is the great Lord. So they follow not anything else but what Muhammad has said. So they are all Aptavakya Pramana. In the Aptavakya Pramana also, there are many many Mahatmas. So whose statement is right? If in our Hindu tradition also, there are so many Mahatmas, so many. So which one to be considered as a correct statement? Even in the Christian tradition, over a period of time, many saints have said so many things. This is what we heard from Christ. His own disciples have different versions of it. Which one is correct? So what happens is in the Aptavakya, you have to go, who's the Sreshta Purusha, as Vakya is greater than others. In Jain tradition, there are Tirthankars. Now, among the Apta Purushas, among those people who have obtained the realization and what they have said, is that can be considered as the Pramana? No. Ishvara Vakyam. Ishvarena Swayam Katitam Vakyam. Bhagavan himself, what he said, is the highest authority. And that is Veda Pramana. Veda Pramana is the highest Pramana. That Shabda Pramane, in the context of knowledge by listening, whom should listen finally? What is said by Bhagavan himself, the Lord himself. That's why he says Vedanta Vedyam. See, the beginning itself we saw Vedanta Vedyam, Vedanta Krit, Veda Videva Chaham. That was said by Bhagavan Krishna. Veda Vidaham. I am telling you, Arjun, because I am the one who created Vedas. Now, in the Veda Vakya also, there are two aspects to it. One is Ishvara Vachanat, another is Ishvara Nirupana Hetutvat. What Bhagavan or the Ishvara had said is one thing, what reveals Ishvara is the second one. Not second in the sense, not a lower one, two parts. Ishvara Vachana and Ishvara Nirupana. That which is spoken by the Lord, that which reveals the Lord. Please pay attention on this. Now, when we take up Ishvara Vachana, it is, Ishvara Vachana is what? There, Vidhi Nisheda Rupam. Ye karo, ye mat karo. Do this and don't do this. See, it is like, when you buy a product, go to the market and buy anything, obviously it comes with a list of instructions. In that very clearly said, use this battery only, use this under these conditions only, this. And then what you should not do is also written. Don't keep it near the fire. Under the extreme temperatures, it won't work. Don't give it to the children. Nisheda. So, Vidhi means what you should do. Nisheda means what you should not do. So, these kind of statements are also found in Vedas. What to do and what not to do. And this is with respect to the Vyavaharika Bhumau, in the transactional world, in the world of daily living. We have the guidance from Vedas, directly from Bhagavan himself has given these directions. This is what, this is for Jnana Yogya Karana. It is for Jnana Adhikaritva Yogyata. They are all meant for getting us prepared for knowledge. How? Manashuddhi Rupena. See, in the form of creating purity of mind. How? When we understand what to do and what not to do, kartavyam na kartavyam yad. That's why Bhagavan clearly says in Gita, Tasmat Shastram Pramanam Te Karya Akarya Vyavastitau. Shastra is a pramana for what? Karya Akarya Vyavastitau. Manashuddhyartam. For the purity of mind, what to be done, what should not be done. Kya karna hai, kya nahi karna hai. Dharma adharma rupam. Kartavya akartavya rupam. This is for Jnana Yogyata Praptyartam. Now, this is not Jnana Prapti, it is a Jnana Yogyata Prapti. So, this is Ishvara Vachana. Now, the second part is Ishvara Nirupan. That is where it is in the form of Paramarthika Jnanam. That is where Upanishad comes in. So, Vedas can be broadly divided into the first part, which is consisting of Karma Tata Upasana, and then comes the part of Jnanam. When it comes to Jnanam, that is Ishvara Nirupanam Jnanam. Knowledge that reveals the nature of the Lord. So, here, when it comes to Ishvara Nirupana Sityartham, Nirupanartham, Paramarthika Jnanam, that is what is called Vedanta. Now, we'll come to this point a little later now. Evam bahuvida santi Vedanta vishaye mataha So how do we understand why exactly Vedanta is a pramana? Nischayah adascha kartavyah. What pramanena? What is pramanena? Vedanta pramanena. Vivekatah. Vivek, it is not in our senses. So, his senses are doing the viveka? No. They only report. Vicharat viveka. Viveka comes out of vichar. But you see, many people, when they take up to study or take up to the path of religion also, many people, they do it out of some calamity that happens in their life. Venkatakare, Sankatakale, Venkataramana ityadi. When there is a problem only, we suddenly remember the Lord. Or somebody we lost very dear, then suddenly we realize that Sarvam Kshanikam Kshanikam. So see, that's why he says in the next verse number, we'll see from verse number 5. Verse number 5. Apatato bhati satyam janasyeshavadharana. Oh, I'm going to 7 there. Wait a minute. Apatato bhati satyam janasyeva shavadharana. Swadhyaya sadhana bhyase mithya siddhyati dharana. Apatato bhati satyam janasyeshavadharana. Swadhyaya sadhana bhyase mithya siddhyati dharana. Esha avadharana, this kind of a avadharana, a conclusion, avadharanam, it's a conclusion or a notion, a wrong conclusion or a notion. What is that wrong conclusion? Janasya apatato bhati, satyam bhati. That there is something higher than themselves is available and always there. This one comes to have a feeling about it, a notion about it, only when there is some calamity that takes place. During hard times, during distress, most people come to open their eyes only when there was a problem. Do you go to doctor's office without having a problem? Checking you go, but really you go mainly to get rid of a problem which you cannot solve. You try all different things, allopathy, this pati, then you go to Venkata Chalapati also. Sripati, Ganapati, Umapati. All other patis are tried out and nothing worked. So it is only at the time of, calamity. That is why it is said, Guruji also quotes this, Dukume sumirana sabukare, sukume kare na koi. When there is a dukkam, everybody remembers the Lord. But when there is a joy and happiness, who remembers the Lord? Jo sukume sumirana kare, te dukh kar kho. For such people, though dukh koi kho koi. Dukh Kahe ko koi. How is that possible if a person is able to remember even at the time of Sukham? Can there be any Dukkham for that person at all? So Dukkham or the unhappiness comes to us only because we have forgotten that both Sukham va Dukkham manasa eva, na atmana. By mind only it is experienced. And mind only seeks to experience such things. What it wants is Sukham, what it gets is Dukkham. Because it is wanting Sukham, that is why. If it does not have that seeking for Sukham, pleasure, joy, happiness, contentment, this, that, then such a person will not even suffer the Dukkham. So this knowledge of the Shastra is for a Dukhi, you mean to say? See, when a person is already happy, that's what they say, no, I'm already fine, and why do I need to read Gita and Upanishad, etc.? So only when I'm in trouble, I need to go there. Otherwise, why should I? So you go to a temple along with your teenage boy or a girl, and you, with so much of devotion and love, you may salute and do namaskar to the Lord, but the boy or the girl is standing like a stick there. Kyun? I never bent to anybody in my life. Why should I do now? Because I'm self-made person. I can do anything I want. Only when the life beats him up left and right, then you will realize that. When everything going well, you may not remember that. One should realize that nothing happens the way one wants. So, study of this jnanam also should be done not for the sake of intellectual arrogance. Swadhyaya sadhana abhyase, na swadhyaya alone. Swadhyaya swadhana abhyase, dharana, esha dharana, mitya siddhyati. The conclusion that it is shushkam, it is katinam, it is sukshmam, ityadi, various notions that people have. It is dry, it is subtle, very subtle, or it is so hard. All these things will go away only when a person does swadhyaya tata abhyas. Swadhyaya sadhana abhyase. What is the sadhana and sadhyaya means here? What is it? See, when you merely take up only the words of the Vedas without understanding the meaning of it, and also understanding the meaning relevant to one's own life, then only you will see how all other conclusions are wrong. Otherwise, Shabdajalam Maharanyam Chitta Brahmana Karanam. Ata Prayatnat Jnatavyam Tatvajnaihi Tatvajnaihi Tatvam Atmanaha. Atmanaha Tatvam Tatvajnaihi Prayatnat Jnatavyam. Kya prayatna karna chahiye? What is the effort that you have to do? Tattvajnanartham prayatnam kuru. Not Shabdajnanartham. Shabdajalam Maharanyam it is. Words will confuse you and make you bewildered. So if the Tattva Jnanam, the correct knowledge is not gained, Shastra is vyartham, useless it is. That's why Bhagavan Shankaracharya says in Bhavik Chodamani, Avijñade para tattve, pare tattve, Shastra adhidastu nishphala. Avijñade pare tattve, Shastra adhidastu nishphala. If you don't understand the tattvam, knowledge, the essential knowledge, study is of no use. Interestingly, he says, secondly, Vijñāte pare tattve shastra didistu nishphala. Very interesting. If you do not have Tattva Jnanam out of that very study, the study is futile. If you know the Tattva Jnanam clearly, study is not necessary. Gurudev used to say, the bed is useful for whom? Bed is necessary for the one who wants to sleep. Correct? If one does not want to sleep, why need to go to the bed? Okay. For the one who has slept, is there a bed necessary then? A fellow is sleeping. You take him out of the bed, he'll still sleep. Once you have slept, what is the need for bed? One who doesn't want to sleep, what is the need for the bed? Similarly, avijñāde pare tattve shastrādidistu nishphala. Vijñāde pare tattve shastrādidistu nishphala. So what is the need for Shastra Jnanam? So you have not understood Tattva Jnanam and you want to have that knowledge. इसके लिए आपको स्वाध्याय तथा अभ्यास, sadhana abhyas. Then only all the earlier conclusion of it is being hard, it is being subtle, it is confusing. All this will go away. Mithya siddhyati dharana. See, in the Vedas also, as we saw, when it comes to revelation of the nature of Ishvaraha, it is not Vedas which are in the form of Vidhi Nisheda. Vidhi Nisheda, one does not give you the knowledge of the Lord. It is only what Lord has stated with respect to how to conduct our life and reach purity of mind, which has become a qualification for going to Jnana. Even in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Krishna gave Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga is not equal to Jnanam. Karma Yoga is only for Chitta Shuddhi. Once the purity of mind is gained, then you are ready for Karma Sannyasa. So in the order, if you look at it, Karma Yoga, then Karma Sannyasa, Jnana Sahita Karma Sannyasa, then Dhyanam. Sixth chapter is Dhyanam. So therefore, here, only when we come to see, so Vedas, Vidhi-nishedatmakam, Vedanta, Jnana Swarupam, Vedanta, Jnana Siddhyartham, Upanishads. In the Upanishad also, there are many different subject matters are there, like Srishti, about Srishti, about the qualification of a student or qualification of the teacher, all that. But leaving aside, maybe that needs to be read, but what is the main thing that you have to get out of the Upanishad study? Brahma Atmaikya Jnanam. That is the core point of it. How the Brahman, the very substratum or the support of the universe, and me, the self, are one and the same. Brahma Atma Aikyatva. That is what is to be learned. Even in that Brahma Atma Jnanam, there also, what is most important is Mahavakya Vichar. What are the statements of the declarations of the Vedas with respect to this oneness, Tattvamasi Ityadi? And even as we understand Mahavakya Guda Artha, that is meaning the core meaning of the Mahavakya, that one needs to understood. When we understand, then what develops in one's mind is Akhanda Akara Vritti. A vritti, a Brahma Sakshatkara vritti. That is what is to be derived out of Mahavakya. Hmm. And that Akandakara Vritti alone will lead to final Pratyagatma Darshanam. So that is what is called sadhana abhyas. So adhyaya is a study, but abhyasa is to get up to the vritti. Now you see, even pratyaksha jnana, when we get pratyaksha jnana, when I am seeing an object by my eyes, the eyes are seeing, but this eyes, what it is seeing, is also converted to as a vritti for me to know. Every sense organ is creating the knowledge about whatever is perceived in the form of a vritti. Only vritti jnanam takes place. Even as I see an object by the eyes, or hear by the ears, or taste by the tongue, the nose, smell by the nose, or touch by the hand, it all converted into vritti, and then only I come to know. Even pratyaksha jnanam, vritti jnanam. It is also in the form of thoughts. In the same way, shabda jnanam abhi vritti jnanam. It creates a vritti in your mind, a thought. And this thought, just like the sense organs have created thoughts to understand the world, to know the world, shabda jnanam also creates a thought to know the self. And that finally one single thought on which you will travel along and reach that point is called akhanda akara vritti, undivided single thought. And that is what is called truly abhyasa. So here Guruji continues in his next part, verse number 6. We'll go to verse number 6. Vedasya charamo bhago Vedanta iti katyate Atmaiva vishayastasya Bhadyaham rupato hriti Vedasya paramo bhago Vedanta iti katyate Atmaiva vishayastasya Bhadyaham rupato hriti. What is Vedanta? Vedasya charamo bhaga. As we have explained, the last part, jnanam part is called charamo bhaga. Charama means the ultimate, final. So, Vedasya charamo bhagaha Vedanta iti katyate. Tasya Vedantasya Vishayah Atma eva. Atma eva Vishayah. That self alone is the subject matter of this Vedanta. So, a small verse I created today to understand this. Shuddhaye karma manasaha upasanena ekagrata atmajnanam tu mokshaya kanda vedeshu iritaha. Kandaha, trikandaha. Three kandas are there in Vedas. Shuddhaye karma manasaha. First one is manasaha shuddhaye karma. Karma kanda is for manashuddhyartham. Upasanena ekagrata. The second kanda is upasana kanda. It is for manasaha ekagrata, to bring an unpointed attention. Atmajnanam tu mokshaya. What is said in the Upanishad is Atmajnanam for the sake of moksha. Kanda Vedeshu Iritaha. These are the kandas which are declared in the Vedas. Now, the subject matter being Atman in the Vedanta, the question is, where is it? Aham rupato hriti bhati. In the form of aham, as I, hriti. You come across Saddarshan, we have been handling that part. What is that? Satpratyaya kimnu vihaya santam hriddesha chinta rahito hridakya katam smaramastamameyamekam tasya smritihi tasya dridhaiva nishtha. Hridi asti, hridi bhati atmarupena. Hridakya, as Mahan Ramana says, it is not only in the heart, it is the heart. It's not even in the heart, it is heart. Hrida Akya. Akya means Nama. Hridaya Guhara Madhye Kevalam Brahma Matram Aham iti Sakshat Atma Rupena Bhati. In the form of Atman, the self, as much as this, the very self is expressing itself as Aham in the heart of everyone, the same one is in the form of Sat, as the support of the entire creation. Adhar Rupena. And without this primary existence of Aham, there cannot be experience of the existence of anything else outside. So therefore, the intention of the Vedanta is not to prove the existence of the world or non-existence of the world. That is secondary. Primarily, it is to recognize that one's own core nature is Aham. That is the subject matter. All others are auxiliary only. So, Atma eva vishayah tasya. Vedantasya Atma eva vishayah. And where is it? Aham rupataha hriti bhati. In the heart of every one of us, it is continuously expressing itself as aham, aham, aham. In other words, why we are not able to understand or experience it clearly? Ajnana karanat tatsmat ajnana nivritya atmajnanam sambhavati ajnana nivrittirapi vedantasya vishayah. The removal of ignorance is also an important thing, because antakarana nirmalatvam is avashyakam. The purity of the antakarana is very important, and that is the reason why many of the effects of ajnanam and also the avidya itself, ajnanam itself, to be understood first as maya kritam, created by Maya, and therefore it is necessary for us to eliminate not only ajnanam, then also it is effects. What all the things that it brings, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, all of that. Now, why it is said that this Atman, the subject matter of Vedanta, is most important for us to know? Kyun? Uska avashyaka hai. Kya prayojanam kya hai? Anybody takes up anything will ask, what is the purpose and what is the benefit of this knowledge? You see, I was thinking about it today. In your life, you love many people, let us say. You love your children, you love your dog, you love this, that, whatever. Don't you want to know who loves you? Huh? That's why very many times, when we ask, when somebody falls in love with someone, look, I want to know, you really love me? Huh? We want to know more than anything else. We may love so many people, but who actually loving me? Mm. This is first question. Second is, what makes one love another? What is the reason A is in love with B? What is the cause of any love? Third is, what is the result of a love? What is the end result of any love? So let us take the first one. How do we know who loves me? So the simple answer for that is, one who makes me happy or attempting many ways to make me happy is a person actually loves me. One who doesn't care, one who ignores, one who is indifferent, we know that person is not interested in me. But the one who is actually loves me is one who is interested in making me happy. So the second question is actually answered here. Why A falls in love with B? Because that B is a source of happiness. A finds happiness in B and B finds happiness in A, then there is mutual love. A finds happiness in B, but B doesn't find happiness in A, then it's what you call one-sided love. So second question is, what makes A fall in love to B is because A discovers that B is a source of my joy, source of my happiness. So the third question is, what is the result of love then? Happiness, joy. Now you see, if we understand this simple thing, what is that in our life we love the most? Which is the source of our happiness forever? And the third thing is, it doesn't leave us, even if you want to leave. So true love is where the person doesn't leave you, whatever you try. कहीं भी जाओ, कुछ भी करो, it won't leave you. So what is that which never leaves me? What is that which is a true source of my happiness? So that is why it is said in the next verse, verse number 7, we read here. न कश्चिदस्ति लोकेऽस्मिन् यस्य स्वात्मा न हि प्रियः तदर्थं हि प्रियं सर्वं स आत्मा तु स्वतः प्रियः न कश्चिदस्ति लोकेऽस्मिन् यस्य स्वात्मा न हि प्रियः तदर्थं हि प्रियं सर्वं स आत्मा तु स्वतः प्रियः. अस्मिन् लोके यस्य स्वात्मा न हि प्रियः न कश्चिदस्ति. अस्मिन् लोके, in this world, yasya, of whom, swatma nahi priyaha, that one does not have love for one's own self, na kaschidasti, it is not there. No one is there in this world who does not have love for one's own self. Sarvam tadartam hi priyam. Everything is dear only because of that. Best example is, most people love money. When you love money, do you love money for money's sake? What money can give you in terms of comfort or pleasure or object or things? December 31st, on one of the years, suddenly there is a declaration from the Indian Prime Minister. 100 rupees and 500 rupees are useless from this midnight. Now tell me, you have plenty of hundreds and $500 notes in your, let us say, in your secure safe box. Now you are out of town. You have gone to US. You have come to US. From India, you have come to US to spend the winter. Arre Baba, what do I do now? Nobody knows the secret code also for that opening that thing, and you cannot reach there. So unhappy. Now, what did the currency do to you? Cause happiness or unhappiness? No, because it lost its value to bring happiness to you. It's only paper now. Nobody will bother. Even if you put it on the ground, on the floor, everybody will walk on it. It is said at that time there were trucks and trucks, loads of money was sitting on the roadside in trucks. Nobody bothered even to look at it. What's the point? One day before that, what was its value? One day after that, what was its value? Does it cause any happiness to anybody? So, kimartham vittam? What purpose is the wealth then? Sukhartham. Sukha, it is sukha karanam. It is only karan. It's sukha nahi hai. Karan hai. It's a means. It's a means, sukha karan. So it is a means for joy, but it is not joy. So, nasti tata sukha lesha satyam. Not even a drop of joy can be got out of it. So, asmin loke yasya swatma nahi priyaha na kaschidasti tadartam swatmartam hi priyam sarvam. In this world, Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. That is said in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Sarvasya kamasya na sarvam priyam. Na priyam bhavati. Sarvasya kamasya na sarvam priyam bhavati. Atmanastu kamaya. Because one loves oneself. Atma tu swata priya. And see, everything you have a reason to love. Only Atman you love without any reason. I love this because it gives me this, it gives me that, it gives me that. I love sweet because it is sweet. I love this person because that person gives me good company. It makes me happy, So you always have a cause, reason. Why do you love yourself? Give me the reason. Because what? That's all. No answer. Swataha priyaha. It's self-love is having no reason. Kahan hai? Hridi. It is lodged in your own heart, in your own being, as yourself. So Vedanta is pointing out this fact. It is not a conclusion by somebody is making a statement and you have to just accept it. It is proven by yukti, anubhav. What is Shruti is talking about is yukti tada anubhava. Rupam, Vakyam. It is both Yukti and Anubhav for all of us. More of it we'll see in the next session. So now we do the Arti. So I'll conclude with, and then we'll do the Arti. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhat Bhavet. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. मंगल आरती प्रिया प्रीतम की, मंगल प्रीति रीति दो उनकी, मंगल कांति हसनी दसनन की, मंगल मुरली बीना दुन की, मंगल आरती। मंगल बनिक त्रिभंगी हरि की, मंगल सेवा सब सहचर की, मंगल सिर चंद्रिका मुकुट की, मंगल छवि नयन में अटकी, मंगल आरती। मंगल चटापवी अंग अंग की, मंगल गौर श्याम रस रंग की, मंगल अति कटि पियरे पट की, मंगल चितवनी नागर नट की, मंगल आरती। मंगल शोभा कमल नयन की, मंगल माधुरी मृदुल बैन की, मंगल वृंदावन मग अटकी, मंगल क्रीडन जमुना तट की, मंगल आरती। मंगल चरण अरुण तरुवन की, मंगल करणी भगति हरिजन की, मंगल जुगल प्रिया बावन की, मंगल श्री राधा जीवन की, मंगल आरती प्रिया प्रीतम की, मंगल प्रीति रीति दो उनकी, मंगल आरती। मंगल आरती। बोलिए गोकुल कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की जय।